One of the most convenient things about WordPress is its drag and drop visual interface for both its menus and for its widgets. See, over here in the sidebar we have some widgets. Down here in the footer of the site we also have 3 widgets coming across here. And then here we have our menu up top here and our footer menu down below here. These are all edited with a point and click editor. I'm going to go ahead and show you right here underneath Appearance. You'll see we have widgets and menus. I'm going to go ahead and click into menus first. And let's say here on our home page, I want to go ahead and add an About page up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click. Now that we've come into menus, we're going to see a visual representation of our menu. Here's jerky, got nuts. Oh, sorry, don't need to go there. You're going to see here we have a visual representation of that. This is a submenu of this. It's clearly delineated by the fact that it's pulled over here. And you can see which menus are top level menus. So those are the ones butted all the way over here to the left hand side. And the ones that are moved over slightly are submenus of those menus. So how do we make something a submenu of something? Very, very simple. Let's say I wanted to add an About Us page. So I can look at the most recent pages added to the system here. I can view all the pages in the system here, or I can search for a page here. Let's say I want to go ahead and search for the About Us page. And they're going to bring me up all the pages that in some way, shape, or form have ab somewhere in them. Might not be in the title, might be in the content of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and click About and click Add to Menu. Come down, and you'll see now, right down here, we get About. Now, I can drag this and move it up. Let's say I wanted to put it right underneath Events. Okay. Now I can click and save this menu, and when I come out, you're going to see that now I'm going to have About here on our top level right after I refresh. But what if I didn't want it on our top level? What if I wanted it, say, to be underneath Events? So I'm going to come down, and to make it a submenu underneath Events, I'm just going to grab it and I'm just going to move it over. That's all I'm going to do. Click Save Menu. Give it a second to save that to the database, and then when I refresh, you'll see that now the About's gone, but it's not quite gone because it is going to be underneath Events. I don't actually want that there. I want to go ahead and get rid of it. So I'm going to come down here to this item, and right over here by the little title that denotes that it's a page, there's a little arrow I'm going to click. And that's going to bring up a little interface about this particular menu item. I could change the navigation label. Instead of About, I could put About Us if I wanted to. It's still going to point to the About page, and it's not going to change the title of the About page. It's just going to change the title of that menu item. I could give it a title attribute if I want, and for SEO purposes you might want to, and that's just kind of a description attribute that screen readers will use. But if I want to remove it, this right up here, open a link in a new window tab, means that if that is selected, when a person goes and clicks on that link, it will actually open it in a new tab instead of opening it in that same tab. And if they're not using tabs, if they're just using a browser that's just using Windows, then it'll pop it up in a new window. This right here, move up one, down one, or bring out from under Events. This is if you're doing administration on an iPad or a phone, something along those lines, and you don't have the ability to drag and drop, you can click these, and they're doing this. They're basically doing the same thing for you. They're moving up one or down one, moving out from under Events. Under Events. See, very simple, and basically all that is just providing a way to do administration for menus on touch devices that where you're not able to drag and drop. But if you want to remove something, just click Remove, and it will remove that. You must save the menu. If you don't save the menu, your changes will not be made. There's no auto saves on the menu at all, so if you don't save them, the changes will not be saved. You will lose the changes. So let's go ahead and refresh our page out here. Now you'll see underneath Events we just have Events. We no longer have anything that slides out underneath Events. So footer menu, if I wanted to change that, I just come up here and it says Select Menu to Edit. Click on Footer, select that, and that'll take me down to the footer menu. As we see, that's just a single level menu. Now over here, you're going to notice there's more than just pages. There's posts, products, events, links. All of these, there's no events right here, but you'll see there's plenty of products. And there's no post categories, but there's plenty of product categories, you could add these in to whatever menu you want to as a menu item, and it will simply dynamically create that page. Even if there's no page created for it, it'll take the information that it has in the database and dynamically create that page for you. So if right here, if you were to use a page full of blog categories and you gave them a certain and you put a link to a certain category up there, when people went and clicked on the menu item for that page, it would take them to a page that would have the latest 10 or 5 or however you set it up in the system posts of that blog postings that were in that particular category is what it would do. So there's actually not a page created for that category. The system just will dynamically create it, but you can add that in just by using a category link. If I wanted to use a product category, just very, very simple. I'm going to go ahead and click fudge over here, add it to the menu. I'm going to add it to the footer menu here. I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then now when I come down and I refresh the page, now I'm going to see that we have this in our footer menu. And now our footer menu is going to look a little weird because the footer menu is kind of full and it's all the way up. So now you're going to see we got fudge over here on a separate, down here on a lower level. So you will want to understand that you do have a size restraint here on the bottom. So you probably won't be wanting to do much editing to that particular menu unless you remove an item and then put another one back. But you'll see this automatically created a page that's showing us all of the items that are in the fudge category, and we have 7 products that are in there. This is not a page. As you'll see, this is edit product category. It doesn't say edit page up here. The system dynamically created this, and all we had to do was just tell it that we wanted it to take this product category and create a page with products for just this product category. So it's a pretty advanced system, very, very flexible, very easy to use. And when you're done with the menus, you just, like I said, when you're done editing, always remember to click Save Menu. Now the widgets right over here, and click on widgets. These are done in a very similar way, as a matter of fact. Over here you'll see we have sidebar 1, and that's what we're using here is sidebar 1. We're using that right here on this page, and that's what other pages are going to see. So go ahead and click on the little arrow here that brings up the widget and brings up the choices that we have for the widget. This is kind of an elaborate widget with a lot of choices. Facebook is. Right down here, upcoming events. This is a less elaborate widget, but it's still quite a few things there. To change these, once again, you can drop them, move them, just drag and drop, simple as that. The moment you do, you'll notice it'll automatically save. That is one thing about these, they automatically save. If you want to get rid of one, come down here and click delete. Very similar to the menus. Just come down and click delete. Now, if I wanted to add something, here are the available widgets for me to add, and you're going to see there are quite a few different types of widgets. You know, let's say to the footer, here we have footer column 1. You see we've got our latest tweets. Let's say I wanted to add a search box on there. So just grab this, come up here, and I'm going to add my search box. I'm going to go ahead and give it a title of just search. Then I'm going to click save. Now when I come back out here, I'm going to go ahead and go to the home page here. I'm not going to refresh this page. I'm actually just going to go ahead and go to a different page. Come down and you'll see that now we have a search box here in our footer. I don't actually want that there. It doesn't look good. Or let's say maybe I wanted it above tweets. I could just go like that. And you'll see that the moment that I do that and I refresh the page, you'll see that that's instantly represented out here in the front of the site. So what if I don't want that search there? Well, a couple of things I can do. I can grab this, come all the way down here to the bottom, and I can put this over here in inactive widgets. Oop, sorry, come back over here. Oh, it's gone. Yep, I didn't have it directly over here. And if you don't have it directly over here, it will disappear. But you can drop widgets that you have. Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. It's in sidebar 6. Look at that. There are quite a bit of sidebars here. Let me go ahead and demonstrate this the appropriate way. Come down here. Now you'll see I'm going to go ahead and drop that into there. Now I've saved this widget, and the only option here in this widget is the title. Okay, and now if I want to go ahead and use that widget again, I can. I can go ahead and drag this widget, come back up here, and drop it over here in the footer. If I don't want it, I just want to go ahead and get rid of it. I don't need to save it for anything. I can just click delete. and it's going to go ahead and delete that. And the moment I delete that, once again, it is going to be represented out here. So if you do have a widget and it's got a bunch of different choices, like here in the Facebook widget, let's say for some reason you needed to deactivate the Facebook widget, but there's a bunch of information in here and you don't want to lose it, you just grab that widget and you come down here and you drop it into this area called inactive widgets. And then that will go ahead and save that widget. It's not going to show it anywhere, but it'll save it so that you can, at a later point in time, come in and just drag it into any of these areas in here. Sidebars 2 through 8 are not used in this system, but you can use them if you want to. They're very, very simple to assign a specific sidebar to a page in this system. I'm going to go ahead and come over here to the Nuts page, and I'm going to go ahead and come in to edit that page. I'm going to show you exactly how you can go ahead and create a custom sidebar for a page. It's very, very simple. Come down here to page options, and we have a few page options right here. We can show the page title or not, which is, let me go ahead and bring this page up here so you can see what I'm talking about. The title is this area right underneath the navigation. This is the page title. That'll hide that if you want. This over here, the top spacing, this adds a little spacing between this area right here and this. That's what that does. You can get rid of that just by unchecking the box. Then down here, we have sidebar options. You'll notice we have the sidebar configured on the right, and you can change that to be on the left if you want to, just by selecting left. You can select both sidebars or no sidebar as well. Ours is on the right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that on the right. But you'll notice right down below, where it says since I've selected right sidebar, right here, I get a selection that comes down, right sidebar. If I was to select no sidebar, that'll disappear. If I select both, you'll see I get 2. I only have right, and you'll notice it says sidebar 1, but it shows me all of the sidebars available. I can even use the footers, I can use the WooCommerce sidebar, I have them all available for me. So I can create numerous different sidebars, select which sidebar I want, and then go ahead and use that sidebar for a specific page or specific pages. So it's very, very flexible, and once again, point and click. You don't have to know how to write any code. WordPress is just an amazing system when it comes to creating a point and click interface that is extremely user friendly. And once you kind of get the hang of WordPress, you're going to find that not only is it very user friendly, but the system is very, very intuitive.